I did not grow up with horses at all. You know, I had family and friends tell me I was crazy and I'd never own a racehorse. She's training well, feeling good, so we'll see what happens when the starting gates open.
Win, lose, or last, we have fun. That's just all there's to it.
I had chopped up a couple pounds of carrots. We were here waiting and just really excited to see them.
My kids have grown up around racing. They actually know how to read a racing form, which I take a little pride in. The farm that Sugar Kate was born at was only 10 minutes from our house, so we went there to see her a lot as a baby.
Yeah, it was night when she was born, and I thought she was small, and I've never seen a baby that was just born like that before. I visited her like every weekend with my dad.
We moved to a different farm in the fall of her yearling year to begin the breaking and training process. And Sugar Kate was a handful. She was very smart and very stubborn. They earned their money with her for sure. Now she's as well behaved as anyone could ask for. In her first race, she was beaten by a horse named I.O. Ireland. We knew I.O. Ireland was a nice horse when they raced together. We knew she was an even better horse when she went and won her next start at Keeneland. So we were very encouraged. In the following start, Sugar Kate got beat a length by a horse by the name of My Option. We knew My Option was a good horse then, and we even knew she was a better horse when she went on to win the Pat Whitworth stake. So far, we haven't been beaten by any horses that we don't have a lot of respect for. So before the race, I definitely nervous. Moving from that 2-year-old year to the 3-year-old year, off a long layoff, facing older horses for the first time, still a lot of unknowns. Watching the post parade, really I'm pretty nervous inside. Where my daughter Kate, she's jumping around, just exuding confidence.
We're gonna win!
And with her being favored, I just kept saying, I hope this is a smart betting public today. Sugar Kate broke sharp. Seth settled her back and she got comfortable in the second flight. There was a decent pace. We had a couple up there, setting pretty decent fractions. Going around the final turn, she had a lot of ground to make up. You know, at about the quarter pole, I thought, well, if we could just get second or third, that'll be a good start to the year, and we'll have to settle for that, because I didn't think we were going to get to the leader. She proved me wrong.
Come on, baby! Come on, get up!
When they crossed the wire, I thought we were a winner. I really did. I was super excited. And then when they ran the replay, it was a little different story. That was pretty tense, really tense. A friend of mine said they put it up in less than a minute. It seemed like 10 minutes to me. It wasn't by a whole lot, but she got there by a nose, which is all that counts.
Awesome. And this time she got first instead of second, like all of our other ones.
Okay, we're in the Tammy Dominowski barn on the backside of Arlington Park with yesterday's big winner, Sugar Kate. We are super proud of her big effort. First time out this year, first time as a 3-year-old. We hoped that she would maybe grow a little bit from her 2-year-old year to the 3-year-old year. She really didn't. Probably about the same height and weight that she was as a 2-year-old. Maybe she has a growth spurt to come later. Maybe this is just the size that she wants to be.
She doesn't like the ice packs on the lakes though. So right here, where there's ice inside of the black pot to cool off her legs.
So we use the ice on the day after a race just to keep inflammation down as a preventative measure. Her legs have been clean, so we really don't have any issues there, but always want to do everything possible to keep it that way. All right, Sugar's had her hour in the ice, so we can. Now that the ice boots are off, you can look at those legs and see there's a lot of weight on some thin legs. Her legs are even maybe a little thinner than average. Today, for Sugar Kate's second race of the year, my wife and daughter Kate and son Ryan are out of town, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to invite some of my dental team to come up to Arlington Park, check things out, and see Sugar Kate's race. So Sugar Kate, coming off the win in the maiden special weight, we knew we were facing tougher. In fact, all of the horses in this race were 4 years old or older, and Sugar Kate is just 3. We caught another break this weekend in having Sugar Kate in on Friday and her full brother, Dr. Trotter, on Saturday. We get to see Dr. Trotter take on Allowance Company, exact same condition as Sugar Kate was in, just against the boys. Dr. Trotter's 5. Dr. Trotter used that experience to his advantage and won. In Sugar Kate's race, coming into it had the natural butterflies. So during the course of the race, it set up a lot different than that maiden special weight win. Fractions were very slow, put us a lot closer to the front in the race. My friends and team members behind me were a little more excited than I was because I just didn't like the setup. She made the lead that early. 1, I'm not sure she knew what to do with it, and 2, I'm not sure that's what she wants to do. When those older horses went by us, I can't say that I was shocked, but she ran hard to the end. Things didn't set up exactly the way we wanted. We learned a little bit more about the style that she wants to run in. Condition of the turf course for Sugar Kate's race was listed as yielding, which means it has some give in the ground from the rain. First time Sugar Kate has ran on a yielding course, and jockey Seth Martinez said she did not care for it. Didn't really like sinking in the way she did. But all in all, with the 4th place finish, we were proud of her. It was tough on Katie, my daughter, to miss Sugar Kate's race. She was a little disappointed that she got 4th, but she said, "Daddy, we'll win the next one." So, she has confidence in her girl for sure.
That horse has been a force here for a while. He had a summer here where he reeled off a couple of stakes wins.
Workin For Hops, the Arlington Classic winner, has the American Derby 2.
This was a serious horse. This is a serious horse. He had been entered in a claimer again at 40K. Our concern there was, this was a horse that had back class. This was a horse that was still young enough to have some great days in front of it, and it was a very attractive price. This is a graded stakes winner, right? So we were apprehensive of why he was in that race. We decided to go for it, and he ran a good second that day. It was clear he was healthy, and then when we got him back, we liked what we saw. So then when he went down to New Orleans, we ran into Buddy D'Alberto. He ran well. It was like a 5-horse blanket that caught him at the ends. He really showed himself well. And then we tried a little experiment of running him short.
That didn't work.
Clearly outmatched. Chris said, let's move him down to Gulfstream. And we had a race March 7th, and it took our breath away. He ran so well. Through on the first turn, he ran through a flock of birds, and he plows through them at 40 miles an hour and didn't turn a hair. Really excited after that race because we thought, holy cow, we might have something here. But what we wanted to do was just get him ready and healthy to bring him back to Arlington. He loves this course.
We had a good idea of when the horse would be showing up, and so of course I had chopped up a couple pounds of carrots. We were here waiting and just really excited to see him. He looks fabulous.
We didn't really know him that well because when we claimed him, it was just a week before the end of the meet in Arlington last year. It was a 100K allowance optional claimer, and Chris also had Sun Tracer entered in there as well too. Well, Sun Tracer we've watched. I don't know that we've ever run against him because we never had a horse good enough to run against him. Eddie riding Sun Tracer. Rosemary was who Chris recommended, and she was just great. We talked with her before the race. The race was a weekday race. We didn't have as many people as we usually have there. We always watch down on the apron, and we'd probably get a better view if we went up, and you're pretty much watching the Jumbotron until they're halfway down the stretch. So we were watching it, and we could see the way it was shaping up because he was on the fence in the upper stretch. She had to swing around the one, and then we thought, okay, but immediately it was clear she had to swing around the second one as well too. And you could see his head come up on both times where he's kind of just checking his speed a bit. And so when she swings around the second horse there, right next to us, the Sun Tracer, Hops would not let him come by. And he was clearly moving fastest of all, but we just ran out of real estate. So trainer Block calls, and he says we had the best horse in there. A couple years ago, but I don't know, it just hit us. Why don't we get a box? We named it the Rabbit Hutch. It's funny, so I turned to Chris, I said, well, you had a chance of looking at Sun Tracer in the eye, and he stared him down, and he says, yeah, I saw that.
You told Eddie he'd be looking at his butt.
I did, and he did look at it. That's right, I said Eddie'd be looking at his butt the whole way around, and that's what he did. We thought, well, you know, I don't like everybody else's flag, I'd like my own flag.
You should lay off the carrot.
What do you mean lay off the carrots? That's probably what did it. But yeah, if anything, we should step it up, I think. Yeah. A happy horse runs fast, and he did.
My niece Allie and I had planned a trip to Florida. Well, since I had missed the May race, I was not about to miss the June race. My husband just shakes his head. He just can't even believe that, you know, I just fly around like this for the horse.
And there were a couple monsters in there. The guy that beat us last time, Cherokee Lord, he was in there. Well, I think Corporate Jungle had won the Breeders' Cup last November. Keep Up clearly had tons of class.
You know, we knew it was going to be tough, but, you know, we also know that Hops had been working out really well. And so, you know, he's got a lot of heart, that Hops.
I think we had easily 50, 55, 60 people here. And we had Eddie on him, and Eddie is Chris's #1 jog. What Eddie did, he rode him perfectly with him. As he hit the head of the stretch, he picked it up, and he actually went out, you know, out front by maybe a length and a half, but then the cavalry was coming, and you could just see him closing in. He could have easily folded it up, but he held strong in there, got us a third. So, you know, last 4 races, we're in the money each time, and we're never going to complain about that. I have 4 boys, right? Ben comes to us and says, Mom, Dad, I got a job. I want to buy into Red Rabbit Racing.
It's something fun for everyone to do, and I feel like that's why I got into this.
He got a large size set of silks.
The silks came about because once I became an investor in the stable, I instantly wanted to get a silks. I mean, I think it's, you know, if you look at like how the Blackhawks doing right now, you see everyone in a Blackhawks jersey. Well, now that I'm a part of this racing stable, I mean, it's just pretty much the same thing. I'm just supporting my stable, supporting my team. They are exactly like the jockeys.
In fact, we're walking in Saturday, Blue Knot, the starter says, geez, these jockeys are getting bigger and bigger.
Here, you know, we have the dice. On the other arm, it's for my grandpa. It's kind of like our tribute to him. He was my role model. I mean, I always remember his famous saying was, if you're not having fun, it's your own fault.
I can't tell you how proud I am that his first financial decision was to invest in a racehorse enterprise. I think that's absolutely tremendous, to tell you the truth, but it drove his mother nuts. And, you know, he did, as well as Allie Gray, who is my niece.
When it started, I was only 14 years old. It was something I wanted to be a part of, but obviously as a 14-year-old, I couldn't do that. Since Ben was joining, it was a good time for me to kind of join in too. Being the younger generation, I hope, you know, one day that Ben and I can continue this on, maybe with some of our cousins and our siblings and stuff. It gives us that place to all come together and be a family and hang out together and have a common interest where we can see each other regularly.
They're going to make sure we live beyond the first investing partners, because they love it, and I don't know why they wouldn't.
Seeing what my dad saw in Charlie, I feel like is what I have for Workin For Hops. If you have that carrots, that's the first thing he wants. Like, you know, you're kind of a footnote to the carrots being there.
He has become quite the carrot monster. He can put a lot away, that's for sure.
He eats like a monster. You have to really kind of pace him when you give him carrots, or he'll take a whole pound bag and just one after another.
We've kind of created a monster, I'm afraid, with the carrots. And all that horse is looking for is carrots. I mean, he's running for carrots. That's what he works for. He's not working for hops, he's working for carrots.
It could end today, and we would all still be on cloud 9.